Hey guys, it's Josh Royko with myhomebookandhome.com and Elite Realtors of New Jersey, here to give you the downtown Jersey city market update for May of 2018, talking about condos that sold in May as well as the overall market trends. We'll get a little bit of supply analysis. You can see on the map, downtown Jersey City, May of 2018, 49 condos sold, average asking price $744K. This number can be a little bit misleading. The convention of recent months and past year or two has been, instead of listing a price reduction, to withdraw the listing and relist it at the new lowered price. So keep in mind that's going to impact this average discount of 0.81%. Average price sold of $734. Probably misleading. Discounting is likely to be significantly larger if you were to track individual properties over time. Average square footage, pretty small in the May timeframe. I think we're seeing a lot of smaller properties sell because they're not quite as impacted by the tax revaluation as some of the larger properties are going north of $1 million. Average price per square foot, $770 in the month of May. Okay, so let's take a look at the biggest thing that's been going on here, the supply and demand dynamics. And wow, just look at this supply slope of inventory. We are seeing a very, very significant and rapid increase in supply, peaking at 273 condos in May, from May 10th to May 17th. A little bit of a decline, just down 5 or so to 268. But keep in mind, ASI, they sent out the revaluation notices in the January timeframe. January 8th, I believe, was the date they mailed the first ones. So if we look, 122, 128, somewhere in that neighborhood at the time they mailed them, and it has just taken off like gangbusters ever since. So about 250% of what it was. So 2.5 times the inventory of January. A lot of you will say, hey, the market is seasonal, Josh. What does that mean? Well, let's take a look at May of last year or so. Going into May, we are looking at, well, June 1st, probably the most apt comparison versus May 31st. 113 this time last year. So significantly above a doubling of inventory. With that, in general, you would expect to see better matches, meaning more deposits accepted by owner, more condos sold. So let's take a look and see, well, what's going on with the demand side of the equation here. All right. May of 2018, 51 deposits accepted by owner. Again, that's a leading indicator of demand trends. Let's take a look at how that was in May of last year. 68 in May of last year. That means we've had a decline of 17 deposits accepted by owner, despite there being well over twice the inventory of last year. Demand has gone down. So those of you that took Basic Economics 101 probably can guess what's going on. When supply goes up, demand holds steadies or falls. Pricing tends to go downward if the trend holds. There's a downward pressure on pricing when there's more supply and less demand. So that's not the full picture on demand. Let's take a look at the actual condos sold. May of 2018, again, 49. Going back to May of 2017, 50. So demand is basically flat, down 2% versus last year. But what's really troubling, again, is demand is flat and supply has more than doubled. So that's telling us there is reason to be concerned. And speaking with other realtors in the area, I think it's a very different narrative than it was 3 or 4 months ago. If you recall, or go back and read some of our blog posts, we were the first that I'm aware of to really highlight this shifting dynamic. Lately, a lot of realtors and those educated buyers and sellers are coming to me with questions because they're seeing the same thing. We are seeing an increase in supply, a lot of concern over the tax revaluation, and a waning of demand. A lot of buyers coming through the open houses I'm seeing are asking questions about the tax revaluation. It's on their mind. I think from what I'm seeing, we're likely to see this trend continue for the time being. The way that Jersey City is is rolling out the increase in taxes, or I should say the tax revaluation. A few properties in downtown are going down, but it's very few. But the way it's being rolled out is your first 2 quarters taxes are the same as 2017 largely, and then the increase is being absorbed over the last 2 quarters. So if you look at a property like 203 Washington Street in Paulus Hook, beautiful 25-foot or so wide brownstone, had taxes in 2017 of $13,650, taxes this year of almost $50,000. I think it was $49,600. What you're going to see is those first 2 quarters are going to be taxed at about that $6,500, $6,700, $6,800 range per quarter. And then the last 2 quarters, we've got a $36,000 increase to absorb, right? They're going to be taxed in the neighborhood of $25,000 per quarter to cover that increase. So $18,000 per quarter of increase is being absorbed over that time period. So major shift in terms of tax burden, likely to generate some additional supply as people do not want to pay those high taxes. I do think it's likely that we'll see a bit of an overcorrection, may present some buying opportunities in the fall for those of you buyers that have been sitting on the sideline waiting for things to shake out. As these properties sit on the market, the ones that are, suffering big tax increases, the ones that don't necessarily look turnkey, those are the ones that are going to sit and have difficulty unless they are priced right. Buyers really are looking for those higher end finishes. If you have a recently renovated property or a tax abatement, that is a completely different story. If your taxes are competitive or advantageous relative to comps in the area, you're in much better shape. But there is a lot of concern for those properties that got hit by the tax revaluation. If you're looking to sell, you need to look at recent comps and you need to shoot underneath the target when the market is declining a bit. Not saying you want to be desperate, but make sure that you hit the market where it's at and don't make the mistake of overpricing in this market because it's declining. You may take a bigger hit than you would have if you priced right from the get-go. So let's go ahead and take a look at the bedroom breakdown. Those of you that have been following the blog know that I like to look at this on a median price per square foot basis. Again, reason I look at it on median price per square foot basis, it's controlling for the outliers. So by median, we mean the typical property, 50% higher, 50% or lower. We are talking about the middle level property in terms of price per square foot. Again, we're doing price per square foot to normalize, to account for changes in size. And you look here and the market is very flat. Going back, peaking here in the spring again of 2017 and declining ever so slightly since, but largely very flat. Anecdotally, we are seeing more demand for size in condos. I think families are staying longer, both in Hoboken and Jersey City, and they are needing more space. So one of the trends that stood out to me this month was the 1-bedrooms. They aren't looking so hot on a median price per square foot basis compared to the overall population, right? You can see the slope of these line charts. The 3 and 6 month rolling average is clearly negative here, seeing a pullback of 7 or 8% versus this time last year. Okay, let's take a look at 2-bedrooms. Again, there is a demand for larger size, more bedrooms. So we are seeing 2 bedrooms doing significantly better than 1. We've seen a continued increase, a little bit of a leveling off, and a slight pullback over the past couple of months. Not enough to say for sure what's going on there. Onward to 3 bedrooms. This again is largely flat, a little bit of a decline here, but better off than the one bedrooms in general. All right, so that's what's going on in downtown Jersey City. Keep an eye out if you're looking in Hoboken. We will have the May update for Hoboken 2018. Lots of interesting stuff going on. Should point out that the volume was really low here on the 3 bedrooms. Look, just 4 sold. So really low volume makes it really unpredictable in terms of where the market's heading. We're seeing more transactions in the 1 and 2 bedroom range. So if we look 1 and 2 bedrooms, we're seeing 2. We had 24 sell, so 6 times as many as the 3 bedrooms. And then 21 bedrooms sold. So something to keep in mind on those 3 bedrooms. Not a lot of 3 bedroom condos are selling out there because, well, there's only maybe 8 or 10% of the inventory that falls into the 3 bedroom range. Again, that is the May 2018 downtown Jersey City market update. Thank you for tuning in. We'll have Hoboken out tomorrow night. Appreciate all of the emails and comments. We'd love to take more of your questions, see if we can help out. Don't hesitate to reach out to me at josh@myhobokenhome.com. Happy to help you out if you're in the market or just curious about how the real estate market is doing in Hoboken or downtown Jersey City. Thanks for tuning in.